I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 100. Whoever gets the closest, like I posted in the group the other day, I'm gonna evaluate their GMB, and then I'm gonna optimize it live. I normally charge about $500 just to do that. So preferably you need to have a non-optimized GMB. Most people's are. So all right, let me pull up the number picker. All right, let's do a screen share. So what I'm gonna do, if any of y'all have picked the same number as someone else, whoever picked that number first is the one that's going to win it. So let's say if 2 of you got number 12, whoever picked number 12 first is going to win. It ain't going to be both of you, okay? All right, let's do a screen share. 1 through 50, so get them in. All right, okay, y'all got 1 through 100, so okay. Got a couple doing 112. We'll be here all day if y'all do that. So we got 39 people in here. All right, we got 39 people in here. Let's do, well, now we got 40 people in here. Let's do 1 through 50. That's it, okay? Whoever picks it wins it. 1 through 50. All right. All right, so 27. Who got the closest to 27? Let's see here. Anybody close enough? I got a 24 from Kevin. Anybody closer than I got a B Burness got 28. She got whoever that is got the closest so far. B Burness 28. B Burness 28. B Burness 28. Yeah, Mike came real close, but B Burness got real close. Yep. All right, let's go back up here. Like Curry. Let's see.
That's me, but we can do somebody else. I'm shy.
Yep. So here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to send me your GMB info. So what you're going to do, you're going to email me at philmrush@gmail.com. You're going to grant me access. You know how to grant me access?
Sure.
Grant me manager access, okay? And I'm going to do this live, and I'll pick one more person probably, okay?
24.
Right, so send me that manager access. I'm going to do one other person. We got enough time. We'll be on here at least an hour. So 1 through 50. I'm going to spin it again, okay? Share the screen. All right, so 15 is the next one. Oh, let's see who got closest to 15. I know I saw a couple of them. 13. All right. 13. That's authors, the 13. I picked through. Author, go ahead. Mike put 15, right? Mickey, Mike put 15, correct? That's what I'm seeing. So if you can, Mike, send me access at philamrush@gmail.com. philamrush@gmail.com. I'm gonna check my email, and then I'm gonna accept it, and then we'll get going. I'm gonna do these probably once a week. Whenever I go to show people stuff, I'm gonna actually also show them, not just, hey, here's how you do stuff. I'm gonna let y'all win some shit every week. All right. So, not seeing it. Y'all gotta grant me access. If you want me to do it for you, you're gonna have to grant me access, okay? If you need me to grant me access, I'm gonna show y'all how to grant someone access, okay? All right, I got Mike, I got you. B, I haven't got yours yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Mike's, okay? Once you get that settled, I'm gonna go ahead and start. For heating and cooling, okay. I'm gonna show you how to do some things, but a couple of things I can't obviously do, but I'm gonna show you how to do some of them, okay? And then we're gonna optimize everything we can do. All right, let me shut that down. Screen share. Let me open up my toolkit. There's a bunch of stuff we're gonna open up here. All right, Thorpe Heating and Cooling. So, Thorpe Heating and Cooling.
Hey, William, I think your mic is not turned on. I think you're coming from your computer as opposed to your headset.
It's definitely on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can hear him.
It's
I can hear you.
on. It's red
Okay.
light on.
Yeah, it's definitely muffled.
It sounds weird, that's all.
Yeah, kind of hard to understand you.
And can I make a suggestion? Next to the mute button on the bottom left of the bar, click the arrow and it shows you what your microphone is using. So right next, right where it says mute button in the bar, click the button and it shows you select as microphone.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh damn,
Thank you.
there you are.
There you go.
Yeah, babe.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Can't believe it.
All right.
I think I had this issue in the past as well.
Sorry if y'all couldn't
Sending
hear
mics.
me, but we picked 2 winners. That mic that y'all were hearing was from the freaking webcam, so that's why you couldn't hear it.
Exactly what I thought.
See,
Okay,
we learn
perfect.
things every freaking day.
Right on. Keep
That's why I
going.
tell people I don't understand everything. So we got Thorpe Heating and Cooling. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys my little. I'll ask your permission before I do it, and then I'm gonna show a couple of you how to do it. So you get a lot of this where you can't change. First thing I'm gonna look at, I'm obviously audit it, but one of the things a lot of people say, well, you can't change your title, right? So you're wanting to, I'm assuming you're wanting to be a HVAC repair person or your HVAC repair company in Tucson, Arizona, correct?
Yeah, it's my brother. He just opened up a company.
Okay. Would your brother allow us to change the title? That'd be the next question, because some people are like, hell no, and some people are like, do whatever it takes.
Yeah, so the domain I bought was Tucson Air Conditioning Company.
Okay, so Tucson, Arizona, air conditioning company. So I wouldn't change it that dramatic. Okay, for number one, a lot of people, if you go in there and just change the whole freaking title, which I've done, sometimes can get you flagged, but not really. I mean, not the way I do it usually. But for example, if I went in here and edited it, most people, I'm going to show you what most people do. This is their mistake. They do the edit, they change the edit, and you're going to get this pending notification right here, right? Y'all have ever seen the pending after you do an edit? And they immediately start scrolling. That's a really, you know, for me, from what I've seen, that's a really bad sign for, if you will, Google. What I tend to do is I will edit it. For example, let's say heating and cooling, sun, easy. And I'll hit apply. Cross my
So for
fingers.
local SEO, AZ really matters, or Arizona, William?
Yes.
Okay.
So you see where it says under review, and what most people do is they start scrolling immediately. There is something called, I believe it's called circles or something. It's where people will do this or move their mouse. Google will actually pay attention to that, believe it or not. So what I do after I do an edit, I don't move anywhere. I just start hitting Control F5, and you see it's already accepted. It usually takes me about 15 times when I hit Control F5, and then it'll be accepted. And I've never had any of them come down. Maybe 1 out of 200 I've done, I've had one of them come down, but not many.
Is that just a refresh? Like, how do you do that on a Mac? Or is it you just?
I ain't got a clue. I'm not a Mac dude. I'm not a Mac dude.
All you're doing is just refreshing. Right?
You're just refreshing it, but usually what happens is it'll sit there and say pending, 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 and people will say, hey, I did an edit and it's still pending after a day, 2 days, a week, or whatever. But all I do is hit refresh usually about 10 times, and then it accepts it. Mind you, I'm doing it from my local guide account, which is about a local guide level 8. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it is an old account. It does have high trust. And I've never had them, taken down. So, that's one little trick that I use. I don't know if it's really a trick or not. I just know it works. And I know other people will do it and they'll get their shit's taken down. And I hear about it all the time where I can't edit something. All right. So he's only serving Tucson, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just want to look through it all. I just want to show you all that. Look through it all, see what all's filled out. He only serves Tucson, Tustin. He's got his hours. He's open 24 hours special. One thing I will show y'all, is quite a few. You don't have your appointment link in here. You don't have any products. I'll show you another hack with products, which people don't know about for the most part. You got your services in here. You don't really have too many attributes. How many words do you got in here? You got 553. You could bump it up a little bit to get it to 750, and I'll show you how to do that with Conversion AI. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So first things first, let's open up. I'm going to open up Plepper just because I like Plepper. Plepper. If you don't know what Plepper is, I use Plepper and I also use GMB Crush. I use Plepper for really one thing, and that's about it. GMB Crush I use to audit and do everything else. But you go to your Google My Business categories list, right? And this is going to be for a Havoc company, right? So we want to verify. I'm just verifying everything. You see the GCID on the left-hand side, which is, if you will, the equivalent of a short name or short URL inside of your website, right? So you see this right here where it says Havoc_contractor, right? And this is a air conditioning contractor. We're going to look at a couple of these, right? There's several things we could do. Like, let's say, add another category. Let's see, your main one should not be air conditioning contractor unless you're only going after air conditioning contracting. Is that the case?
No, that's not the case.
Okay, so your main category should be Havoc contractor. Biggest problem you may have with this and we'll touch on it later. So, but we'll add Havoc contractor, right? And you see it's under review again. F5, 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 3, 4. Because a lot of people will do this and they'll stay under review forever. And you are dealing with a spammy niche, by the way. They pay, from what I've seen, really close attention to Havoc, plumbers, locksmith. See if they accept it. They should accept it. It takes about 25 times usually with the name. We'll see what they'll do with the category. Might have to move on that one. So it looks like they're not going to. There we go. Accepted it. Now, what I won't do until later is I'm not going to go in here. What I'm going to want to do is eventually flip this Havoc contractor to be the primary, not the secondary.
Oh, okay.
All right. But so we're going to do that as well.
A quick question. Do you recommend any specific browser or like?
I use Chrome. I'm not like that. I mean, sometimes I clear out my cache, sometimes I don't. I mean, but what I really want you to pay attention to too is you see the short name, right? Havoc contractor. And if you click on, if you will, related categories, you're going to see what is the other related categories. So if you're going to choose any other categories to put them with it, it should be air conditioning contractor and heating contractor and air conditioning repair. And this one, we stop right here. So if you wanted to add any of the other ones, we can do that. I stick around with 4 to 5 categories, no more. I've seen people go in there and add 15 freaking categories. And it's like, think of it this way. You're taking a really nice, drink and diluting it to the point where it's going to taste like crap. And Google, it's not going to give you a strong entity signal when you dilute something. So if your main thing, and I haven't even looked at the site yet, but if your main thing is Havoc contractor, I would leave it as a Havoc contractor, but we'll look at the website and then I'm going to determine if we're going to add anything else to the actual, to everything. And I'm going to show you how, and this is another thing, because come Monday, we're actually going to be, I'm going to go over some more things with building out the site. Because like I said, we actually have to build out the website. Unlike most people. Most people, like last time we started with, actually had a website and we didn't build it out. But here's a real clue here. Like most people send you to, they'll have this right here and it's sending them to this website, right? Which is fine. But when you build out this site, they say, well, what the home page is, they build it out and they could just call it home or whatever. Well, what you should have called it when you named this, when you build out the site, was this. You should have gave it, this is the home page, if you will.
Yep.
So if you had done that, that's another trick or hack that most people don't do. The home page would go to a category just calling it Havoc contractor, right? That's the next thing I would have done when building out this site. It's not something necessarily, I mean, you can do it, but what you're going to wind up having to do if you do it, and there are several factors I look at if I'm going to do it. Is the site already ranking? I could almost tell you no, mainly because
it's not. It's brand
they
new.
don't have enough, he doesn't have enough content or anything. So if it was me, I would have, I would rebuild the site first off, because I've built, Havoc websites and I know what it takes, but I would rebuild, the site evidently. And then I would redo the structuring. When I say structuring, I mean, how's your website laid out? What's the silo of your content? Everything. So like this is just, for example, services /pound RES. Makes absolutely no damn sense. commercial is services pound com. Makes no damn sense. Your whole the whole structure of the site needs to be fixed, right? The content was, if I was to audit the whole thing, like if I went to word counter and did a word count on this, you have 458 words on the homepage. You need about 1,500 at minimum. And we're going to use conversion AI to do some of this stuff, but those are all things I look at as I'm filling it out, or as I'm looking at your appointment link. For example, your appointment link should always be your contact page. And see, what you got as your contact page is what you should have as your home page. You don't even have a contact page on top of it. It just goes, it scrolls down to the bottom of the website. You know, so that's going to be a problem. But if you went to contact us, it just takes you down to the bottom of the page. And in that case, it didn't even take you down to all the way down to the bottom. You know, so you got a couple of issues with that. But you need to take, when you build out the site, you need to take and put your appointment link here. So what I'm going to do for now, since, you know, we're doing this, I'm going to take the contact link. I'm going to add that to there. So you know what I'm trying to get at whenever you go to do it. You hit apply. It's going to stay under review, and I don't move. I don't scroll or anything. I just stay right there. I'll do it about 5 times and take it. That's not going to be something that's so sensitive. So appointment link, appointment link, appointment link. See if it accepted it, and then we'll scroll on, go to the next thing. Okay, so let's say services. A lot of times, and this is what I would wind up doing, is, for instance, you have your number one service up here is air conditioning. The whole thing is based on your primary category is air conditioning contractor, which you know is not. So I would rearrange all this, you know, and a lot, and I'm going to get into this too as well. For example, so let's go back up here. Let's see if we can get this switched. All right. You know, we got additional categories. Let's add one more category, or a couple more categories. Heating contractor. If we can get it in here. Heating contractor, air conditioning repair service. Right. And the primary category, we want to change that to that here. Flip it. All right, so Tucson, we got our appointment link. Now, how do we add products? I'll give you an example. If we were to do this and actually do our products, one thing that you'll see a lot of, and most people don't even know you could do this, but so let's say we go to do a product, and your product is going to be, let's say, air conditioning installation. Just giving an example, right? And we're going to create a product. We're going to select a photo. You know, let me go over to photo stock, or let me go to this right here. Save images. All right. And I'm not going to do no geodata. I'm not going to do none of that shit because it's going to be scraped off anyways. Most people will just put a JPEG up here, right? Because that's all they know they can do. Well, one thing you can do, which most people don't know you can even do, is you can actually do a GIF. And a GIF, why would I want to do a GIF on a GMB listing? So when I say a GIF, let me show you a couple. of ones we've actually done, and I'll show you why we would do it. Good one. It's a little trick that I've just really started using not too long ago to get a higher click-through rate, if you will. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just grabbing them. Oh, there's solar. Okay. 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 I want to show you this example so you can see it. Okay. Info. Once you see this, you probably be like, I can't even believe that's there. Because, all right. So most products, you see this right here? Down here, right here.
Yep.
Well, you see that they're animated GIFs, right? Well, the point of that is the same reason why you do videos and other things in search results. When I see a video, I'm going to click on it, right? If I see an animated GIF, you're trying to grab someone's attention to want to click on them. And most people will tell you we can't put animated GIFs. You're absolutely right. You cannot put an animated GIF in there, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's say we get a GIF, air conditioning. This one's going to be air conditioning repair. So just for an example, this is a GIF, right? And I want to edit and put the GIF in here, right? You notice it won't even let me grab the GIF because you're going to go to grab it. And then when you go to put it in, it's going to say, you can't put it, it's going to give you an error saying you can't put a GIF in here. So most people won't even try that. But what you do, right, select again, we're going to go down to the photo that we want to put in and we're going to click rename. And then whenever we rename it, we're going to put JPEG, JPG, which is going to switch it and you're going to say yes. And when you do that, it's still going to be a GIF when I upload it. You'll see it. And then once you upload it, come on, that's wrong size, 250 by 250. Let me get another size in. But whenever it will allow you to actually upload it, regardless of it being a GIF or not a GIF, you know, because you just took something that's supposedly not a GIF and made it, you know, it is a GIF and you made it into a supposed JPEG, even though it's not. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get one here that I can use. It's big enough. 250 by 250. Let me pull this open in Adobe and admit this person in. All right. Copy image, create new. We're going to 300. And let me see. I can't see everything. So let me get rid of y'all for a second. Give me 1 second so I can do this. All right, so I'm going to open up Adobe, create new. And the reason why you would do it, you're trying to get people to click on it, right? So no matter what I'm going to do whatever it takes to get people to click on my image. Whenever I do that, it winds up, if you will, causing people to click on my image. And all I'm trying to do is get them to what? Click on my image, no matter what, because they're going to, you're ultimately wanting to increase your click-through rate. When you go to insights on Google, right, and you're seeing your image files and it's saying that, this business had this many click-throughs or this business had this many click-throughs or whatever, you know, this is why, because people are sitting here and clicking on your images mainly because do they look good? You know, does it grabbing their attention or what have you? You're trying to get it to grab their attention, right? Let me get one real quick. Here we go. All right, save image as, there we go, Tucson, Tucson air conditioning repair. Okay, and that is a GIF. All right, so we go select photo. Let me put y'all on live again so y'all could see everything. Screen share. All right, so we go select photo. It's going to be this little photo right here. It's not going to let me do it because it's a GIF. And then you go right click, rename JPG. And then it's going to say, hey, it's not this or whatever. And you click on it anyways. And then when you upload it, you're going to see it's animated. So I'm doing
awesome.
that because it's going to grab someone's attention. And whenever they go to, if you will, the insights, let me show you the insights and what I'm talking about, what we're wanting to increase. If I go to insights, is I want to increase my listing search, my listing on maps. And what Google looks at is how many action is someone taking? Are they looking at your pictures, clicking on your pictures, sharing your images, sharing your posts, visiting your website, calling you? Right now you have no data, so obviously it's not going to help. If you start doing the posts the way I do them, I guarantee you all this will go up. I know for a fact it will. But so now how would we do the, you know, product name? You know, let's say air.
Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Olivia.
Hello, Olivia.
Sorry. I'm making Vietnamese videos.
Yeah, it's okay. Air conditioning contractor. So let's go with that. That's what we're going to call that product, just for the example. And now I'm going to open up Conversion AI. If you don't have Conversion AI, let me know and I'll give you my link. Or you can go on here and buy it yourself. I don't care if you use my link or not use my link. But I do have a link for it. And I know Dave's in here and he's a big Conversion AI dude too, because this thing can, I mean, it does a
Saves
lot.
me a
So
ton. Yeah.
we go over to product description. Here's just one way we could do it. What's the company name? It's Thorpe Heating and Cooling. Okay, Thorpe Heating and Cooling. So let's go Thorpe Heating and Cooling. And what was the Thorpe Heating and Cooling Tucson? All right. You know, and I'll go up here and I'll grab some of this information over here for AC repair, whatever. And I'm going to change this to professional because that's just what I like, instead of, you could put funny, professional, whatever. And then once you do that, I'm going to hit generate content. And this little bad boy is going to generate some pretty nice content that I can use in here instead of trying to figure out what the hell to write. And the good thing about this is, you notice there's a couple of things. You can actually put 1,000 words of content in this product description. All right. So we're going to create with Conversion AI, you'd create 1,000 words of content and drop in here. I'm not going to do that today because I didn't got the time to do it today, but you go in a product description, you're going to fill it with 1,000 words of content. So if I was redoing your site, I would take as much of this content as possible, right? So I'm giving you one way of writing it. So if I just wanted to write a little snippet about, you know, AC repair, I got this: choosing the best residential commercial air conditioning system combined with the right AC installation will ensure optimal performance and the best results. Thorpe Heating and Cooling provides expert Tucson air conditioning replacement, repair, design, and installation services. Blah, blah, blah. That's all written by AI. And a lot of people talk about, you know, AI cannot write good content. Well, that writes better than probably most people could do off the cuff of their hand in this room. You know, even me. I mean, I do it, but it's not, I'd rather have a simpler way of doing it. So now that's one way of doing it. So let's say product description, and then let's go to content improver. Another way we could do it with content improver, that way we get 600 words. For example, if I want to take content improver, I take, let's see how much of this content we can actually grab. All right, just to see, because I know you don't have nowhere near what I think you have in here. Go to content improver, copy it all, paste it in there as much as we can. Right. And then we're going to hit professional, then we're going to hit generate content. It's going to take that content and it's going to improve it. So it's not the same exact content, but I usually prefer taking the exact same content that you have on here and placing it in here, because I want my GMB to reflect my website, to reflect my GMB, not the opposite way around. Most people want their GMB to reflect what, you know, the opposite way. I want my GMB to be the number one thing, and everything that's on my website, my structure and everything, to look like what my GMB does. All right. So, but in this case, even with this content improver, you can go like, we've got your back in Tucson with the best air conditioning replacement experts around who can service any residential commercial space from split tape, and tells you everything about. Then the next content piece, with over 25 years of experience in the business, we've perfected seamless air conditioner replacement, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, the next one, we're operating in Tucson, Arizona, right? So now I could literally take this. Let's say I wanted to take this, and I'm going to drop this in here. So I got 260 words out of that part. I go here, you know, sorry, copy it. And I drop that in here. Now I got 611 words that Mr. Jarvis wrote me, which is amazing. And then I drop that in there. And now I have 1,000 words. ... Right now, I'm going to add a call, you know, an action button, learn more. And then I want them to go over to my services. In this case, if it was structured right, it would be to this correct structure, but this structure looks like crap. But we're going to do it anyways, just to teach y'all what we would do. We'd put learn more link. All right. So we got a GIF here for a CTA. We're going to put in a new category. Our new category is going to be air conditioning contractor. We're not going to put in a price. You could if you wanted to. And we got almost 1,000 words of content in our product description that Mr. Old Jarvis created that looks amazing. And then I hit save. It will take about 24 to 48 hours to get these products to actually show up in your listing. And I would wind up doing that with every service you had. Commercial, residential, everything. To me, you should have, you know, all of these things right here when I'm writing out content. If I was going to do this, this would be a page. Air conditioning repair, air conditioning installation would be a page. You know, furnace replacement would be a page if you were going to do it that way. Now, the way I'd do it, I'd have a page for air conditioning contractor, which is your your primary one is HVAC, then another one for air conditioning contractor, another one for heating contractor, another one for air conditioning repair service, and another one for furnace repair service. Okay. And that's how I would structure my website and my services. Next. So I showed you how to do a product, right? Next is we're going to go to reviews. So you have no reviews. Let's say you did have a review, right? How can I, you know, and I get them where there are hundreds of freaking reviews or whatever. And you're like, how do I respond to my review? Well, if you have Conversion AI, you go in here and you go to review responder. Let's just grab, you know, somebody, HVAC repair Tucson, right? Just to see if I could give y'all an example here. Let's say it's this joker right here. He's got 992 reviews, and I'll show you a couple of them. but we click on all his reviews. We want to see them all. I want to see the lowest rating one, right? Now, how would everybody, because you get this question, why choose the lowest rating one? How do you respond to a negative review? Number one, you can mark it off. You can waste your time and go report the review, and the Google gods are going to say, you're very funny. And they're not going to do nothing about it. Most of the time, unless the name of the person leaving the reviews like F off or cusses at you or, calls you a racist or, you're all types of names, they're not going to get rid of it. It's just not going to happen, at least yet. But a better way of responding to this is me to go, okay, well, I can actually respond to review and put 1,000 words of content in my review response. If you've ever went to a review response, you'll be able to see you could put up to 1,000 words in it. And this guy, man, he put in here at least, let's say, 400 words of content, 300 words of content, whatever. So I go to my review responder, and they're asking, okay, in Conversion AI, what's the name of your company? And I drop that in. What's the name of this joker that left this negative review? And you see the type of response they gave. They gave a decent response, but they could have done better. You go, what's the person's name? He left a 1-star review. I copy the review. I paste it into Jarvis and I hit write content. Jarvis is going to write me some content. What I tend to do is I will then take that content that Jarvis writes. I'll put that at the top, right? Just for example, if it was this, I would take this response and I would stack it on about 1,000 words of my content from my website. And people are like, why would you do that? Well, I will do that because people read reviews, and I will tell them, say, for instance, Jonathan, we're sorry to hear you had a frustrating experience with our service. We know how important it is for you, your comfort, blah, 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 whole thing. We appreciate outreach. We tell them we're sorry. And then I go, I'm sorry you didn't receive our outstanding 5-star customer service, which we go into AC repair, HVAC repair, and everything. And I fill it with as much content as possible. And I can tell you with this past algorithm update, it seems like reviews have gotten an uptick in, their weight, if you will, in GMB rankings. So I just want to give you all that one. You don't have any reviews. You need some reviews. That's going to be a definite. And you can either, get reviews, buy reviews, whatever you want. Next part, you don't have messaging and quote requests turned on. You need to turn that on. So we're going to turn that on for you. Another thing, if you go into insights, you go over here, go see new profile, and we already have that turned on. So you're going to get the call insights. So you want your call insights turned on, which is what we were just doing. So when someone calls you, it's going to tell you, okay, for example, if we go here, it will tell you, you got to sign up for your call history. Why would you want to sign up for call history? Because it tells you your recent calls from Google, which ones were missed, and you can easily return those calls. So we turned that on. Right now it's saying, and I'll tell you, you can view your call performance and everything now that we got it turned on. So once you start getting phone calls, you want to be able to see it. If Susie, John, or whoever is saying, yeah, we have no calls today, boss. And then I go in here and I go, well, we had 20 calls. Why did you miss them? Well, you didn't know Susie was on her cell phone or John was on her cell phone. So we got that turned on now. You don't have any reviews. You need some reviews. Once you get some reviews, come in here with review responder from Jarvis and start responding to those reviews. Then you got your messages. We turned that on for you now. Then you got your photos. You need to be uploading about 10 photos or so a month. As many as you can that are actually from an actual job, the better. Not just generic stock photos. You can use them, but the more, if you will, real, the better. From an actual location, the better. If you're actually on the job and upload them, the better. Products, we've already went over that. And, you know, you're going to add your products in here and everything. And once it's accepted, you'll see them in there, but you're going to go click. You know, we already have one product, but you would add all your products after you create your pages, because we want this and your website to reflect each other, right? Your services, once again, we don't, you know, we want the main category, which you've already done, is to be have that contractor, and then the rest of it, like you have a ton of this stuff in here, and this should all reflect what's on Plepper, right? So in Plepper, if it's air conditioning contractor, well, what's next should be air conditioning contractor, just like we had it. Then heating contractor, just like we put it in here. Then repair service, just like we put it in here. We optimize this up, okay? The website, there's nothing you can do about this. What happens is we're going to create a site. This will be a reflection of whatever you create. So if you're doing GMB posts or anything like that, it's going to drop in here. Another reason why I tell people to do your posts, and you see you have been posting, they get put in here. Another part in my class that we're going to learn later on, I got a stack that I made in which I take this and the RSS feed and hot link the images from my GMB post onto a stack inside of my website, right? There are lots of things we can do. If we go to posts, and we're going to go over how I would personally do a GMB post. This is definitely not the way I would do a GMB post, but it is what you have right now.
What would you do differently?
Let me show you. So let's just take
That's
this
all
one.
Jarvis there. I just go to Jarvis every day.
Mhm. So let's go ahead and do one. You know, or I could show you a couple of things, but so you're going to put an offer in at least once a week. You could do what's new, but an offer once a week. But let's say it's a what's new. Let's go back real quick so we could go to, or better yet, let's do it this way. So have at contractor. So a lot of people ask, how do you come up with ideas to write about, let's say, have at contracting? Because there's only so much stuff you can write about have at contractor. So I'll go in here, let's say have at contractor in Tucson, not in the Philippines. And I go down here, and Google also tells you get these things right here, which I have another tool where it's related searches. But very specifically, what I pay attention to is Google's telling you people are also asking for you know, in specific. And it's going to give you different and air conditioning repair services in Tucson, Arizona, right? So let's just say if people, what are people asking about? What are the best companies? All these different terms, right, that people are looking for. So I'll grab some of that sometimes. AC, that's where repair services, costs. I mean, just different examples like this. How much should a HVAC maintenance cost? So let's go like this. We go over here. Tucson. So let's say it was in this Tucson air conditioning repair services. So going to Jarvis. What's the name of your company again?
Or heating and cooling.
Say that again.
Thorpe Heating and Cooling.
Thorpe. Heating, cooling.
No E.
Tucson. And oops, in the reviewer, sorry. All right, so in this case, go to templates. I go to product description, or you can go over here to Google and you go here, you can do an event post or what's new post. All right, so my update, let's say it's going to be this right here. And I'm wanting them to write some content about regular maintenance, you know, but we're going to go to say Thorpe.
Yep.
Heating and cooling. And
No E.
I keep putting that E in there.
Everybody does.
Yep. Tucson. All right. And say professional and hit generate. And once again, I'm going to want to get a GIF. You don't have to use a GIF every time, obviously, but I prefer something that's going to try to grab someone's attention per se, not necessarily just, you know, just to put it up there, just to put it up there, you know, and a lot of people will just go, well, I just want to put something up there. You could do that, or we could grab a GIF. It's just a matter of how much time do you want to put into making a GIF. Sometimes I will put funnies in there or what have you, just for the sake of it. So I already showed you how to do a GIF, but let's say we don't want to do a GIF, or we could do a GIF. It's up to you. Let's do a GIF this time. Desktop. And this is going to be, in this case, is going to be regular AC maintenance services. We're going to name the image whatever we've got this, you know, whatever the name of the service is, right? And then I'm going to use a GIF, which it should tell me once again, no, absolutely not. You can't do a GIF. Stop being a bad boy. And let me find it real quick. It's the JPEG. It might not be big enough. Nope. See, it's telling me it has to be a GIF. So I hit all files and looking for the GIF, There it is right here. I'm going to right click on it, hit rename, hit JPEG. It's going to say, yeah, you want to change it. I say, yes. I click on it, grab it, and it's going to upload it. Instead of denying me and telling me I can't upload it now, it's going to say it's too small and all that jazz. But let's say, let me pick a larger image instead of the smaller image, because they do look at image quality too. So you always want to try to get one that is bigger per se. And you know, the bigger the better with the images. If they look in a certain way, they look at certain things. Are they stock photos, stuff like that. So if I can't use a GIF, I will use just a regular old picture. But if you can make a GIF, or you don't know how to make a GIF, you can go online. There's plenty of different ways you can make them. But for time purposes, I'm just going to grab this image right here. All right, I'm going to write my post. It's already wrote my post, you know, business announcement, and it goes Thorpe Heating and Cooling. It's a full service or have active, and tells you click the link below and all this stuff, right? So regardless, I wind up creating the business post and taking that, or we can even take the services off of here, and then obviously then take this and put it into a spinning content. But take this, and then we're going to drop what's our post about. You know, your post, you need to fill it out as much as possible. And then the next thing I want to do besides that, you know, writing a post, I want to drag this down as much as possible. And I'm always going to put my name, address, and phone number in here. So if it was Thorpe Heating and cooling and your service area business. So I know you're not going to be able to do that per se, but you could still do certain things. So you're in Tucson, Arizona. What's the zip code out there?
No idea.
So let's
can look
find
it
that
up.
let's look that up real quick. Zip code is a bunch of them. So if you gave me a specific one, let's say it's 85641.
Okay.
So if it's 85641, and then I'm going to try to put, because sometimes Google will allow you, sometimes they won't, to actually put the actual link to the website in here, right? The next thing we're going to want to do, and I'm going to grab it real quick, give me 1 second, is I'm going to go back to your post. And I'm going to go, okay, what was the previous post before what I just did? I'm going to get share post. And I'm going to grab that previous post and I'm going to put that in here too. I'm going to right above all this, I'm going to say, see our previous posts here. Right. And then Thorpe, name, address, phone number with this, and call to action is going to be a learn more button, and it's going to go to the service I'm trying to promote. Let's say it's this one for right now. And then I'm going to click there. I'm going to hit publish. And then
Should there be a certain percentage of time between adding the call now button versus the learn more button, or does it matter? Or?
I never use call now buttons that often.
Oh,
I
okay.
use them once in a while, but I have a very specific way in which we do it. If I do it, it would be once a week, twice a week, maybe. But most of the time, I'm going to be pointing it to an actual link on the website.
Oh, okay.
And you always want to put this, and in Local Viking, it will allow you to do this with literally a click of a button. I don't have to go looking for the share button or nothing and find the link. It just says, see our previous post here, and links it to it. I put the name, address, phone number in there. Google, this part is against Google's terms and services. Putting any links whatsoever in your post is against Google's terms and services. I just know the shit works. So I'm just telling you what I would do. So that's an example of how I would do any future posts. If Google rejects your post and you have this in here, I can almost guarantee you it's because of this.
Oh, okay.
And what I will do is in most of my clients, I can get away with this. Even Havoc Repair, any of the spammy niches, I can generally get away with it, but sometimes you can't, depending on if you got some competitor reporting you. So that would be how I would do my posts. And George, who's in here, he could tell you, for example, he'll do my landing page stack and he'll do my posts. And he took one of his geogrids from red and orange to greens just by doing 5 posts a day, just the way I showed you, and doing his location pages just the way I showed you. That's it. Nothing else. No crazy backlinks or anything like that. But that's how I would, if I went back here, how I'd optimize, if you will, your GMB. Once you actually have the rest of your website done, obviously I'd go in here and do something different. Your Thorpe heating and cooling, in this, I would try to get at least 750 words in here. Do my best as much as possible. Like even this right here, you can drop in some of this, and try to get more content in. I just try to get as much as possible. We offer transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. So now I got 716 words in here, 686. I try to get as much as possible in here, or even, take, in this case, if you really wanted to do it, you take all this out and I go, give me, for an example, this right here. Let's correct all this. Drop that piece in. And then let's say I want to drop this piece in, for air conditioning repair. Let's say I wanted to, and we're already at 604 words, but most people won't even do that much, And now we're at 750 words. You know, we can't be exact, but we're at 741 words versus just doing the bare minimum. You know, so now I got keywords in here. I have my location in here. I have my business name in here. I filled this thing out as much as freaking possible, right? When you go to view it on search, usually it takes about 24. See, now you even have the request a quote button in here. It's already showing up. Your business name is already showing up. Your post is not going to show up. It takes about 24 hours to show up on the, if you will, the products and services, some of these changes. So that's that one. Let's see anything else.
William, can I ask you, does local Viking have problems with accepting the GIFs as .jpg files? Because I'm busy doing it now with you, and I uploaded it through local Viking, and it says we got a system error now. Try again later.
Did you? Well, that's a system error. That has nothing to do with that part. But
okay,
we do it through local Viking. But all right. Who was there you go, B Burness. I know I'm already in over an hour, but let me check my email and see if we got your email, and then I'm going to go ahead and do yours. If you have
Thanks,
to
William.
go, I understand if you got to go or whatever, but I'll be here. I'm going to do this last one. If you have any questions about, also, by the way, Mike, remove me off of that because I don't like getting my email. I don't like keeping my GMBs full, but so if you could do that, it'd be great. Let's see. So Bimby invited me to B&W Movers. I dominate down in South Florida. Where's this one located at?
South Africa.
South Africa. I have no GMBs in South Africa, so no need to worry. So, I do have some clients. I do have a couple of friends that are students out in South Africa, but that's about it. All right, so let me close my email. Otherwise, it gets me distracted.
I sent you two. This is a moving one, and there's also a lawyer one. This one's pretty optimized, and then the other one's, it's a new kind of one about a week on.
Take me off of that one, and let me go on to the newcomer one because I don't want to even mess with something that's already optimized. Thank you, Mike. That was quick.
The other one is a Greek lawyer called Xenophontus. I sent that through as well. Have a look.
Yep. Xenophotis, attorney at law. So what is a Xenophotis?
It's a lawyering firm. It's a Greek name for a lawyer firm.
Is it because I'm asking, is it a popular term in that area?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's just his surname.
So that's why he put it up there.
Yeah.
If it was me, I probably wouldn't even have that in there, but that's just me. And I have.
We can edit that.
Let's see real quick. So screen one. And there are reasons I'm going to tell you no. So he's an attorney, and I know in the States, for example, in the States with an attorney, however, my business name is actually in real life, let's say, and I'll tell you this anyways, even if it's not, and you're a plumber or you're a marketer or whatever, your DB, if you have a business license, is DBA, it should reflect whatever's on your GMB. Because if it's not on your GMB and they take it down, you're going to have to do a readdressal, and they're going to ask for business license information, and you need to be able to give them a DBA or business license information with the correct information on it. That being said, also as a lawyer or anybody with an actual license, you can lose your license if you represent yourself in a wrong way and a competitor reports you. That's another reason why I tell people to do it. So let's say, for example, let's go through all this with you, and let's kind of look at what you're doing as well. So we're going to go to your home, your posts. See, you're sharing your place ID on this one. It's not bad. I used to do CID. I think it's a waste of time anymore. Some people send backlinks to a CID. I've actually seen people get punished for putting backlinks to a CID. So it's not something I do anymore. I used to do it. It may come around and actually work eventually one day, but we'll see. So on this post, that is his surname or his last name. I personally would not change it. What area of town is he in? He's in Bedford View or Bedford Village?
Bedford View of Johannesburg, yes. The main city would be Johannesburg.
So, number one of the things, and I went over this on the first class we had, but one of the things we want to look at, for example, South Africa. I'm not very familiar with South Africa, so it's google.zas. Let's say, so what type of law does he do? Is he a generalist? Is he a personal injury law? What does he do? And if I'm looking at this, I don't really I see family law, attorney at law. And he does litigation and commercial litigation, but what's his main practice?
Divorce law.
So for
I think I made that his
divorce. Okay.
Yeah. I think I made that his primary category.
Let's go to the tools and let's go to the categories. All right. And he's an actual lawyer or attorney, divorce. So he's going to be a divorce attorney. The related categories underneath the divorce attorney, we'll get that so we can see what you got. Info. So his main category is law firm, which is not correct.
Okay. So after doing the audit, I saw most of the competitors in the area were law firm as their main category. Yep. So I originally had him as divorce lawyer, which I think is his bread and butter. Yep. This particular client had no GMB, he hasn't even got a website. So he was working off word of mouth, which I couldn't believe.
Wow.
So what he's got now is 170% more than he had. So I had him as divorce lawyer as main category, and then I checked I did the audit process, and all his competitors either law firm or
Did
law
you
attorney.
send me your homework? I think you did.
No, I didn't. I've got it. Okay. I've got it on my machine. Yeah.
Yep. Send that to me. But besides obviously doing the optimization, that's one of the other things, because you may go to do a GMB audit and they may not even have the area or the keyword in the title. So if they don't, you don't even really have to do that, because I go based off of what they're doing per se. So if you're telling me, for one, let's go ahead and look. So if I looked up his main bread and butter is divorce, what keyword did you look to determine his competition? Let's look at that.
So you could type in lawyer in Bedford View or lawyers near me, when I obviously used
lawyers.
Yeah.
Bedford in Johannesburg.
Bedford View. That should be.
It's actually, if you look at it, it's Bedford Village or Bedford View. So let's go
Bedford Village is the shopping center is in, and then Bedford View is the area. There it is on the map. Yeah. There you go.
All right. So if we look at these people right here, GMB Crush, what I like about GMB Crush, no, I don't speak Afrikaans, unfortunately. I have lots of friends from Benin, Africa and stuff though, but this, if I use GMB Crush, it actually, and this is telling me the main category here is law firm, and he has no secondary categories is what it's saying.
Most of the guys in South Africa don't really use secondary categories. So by using
his main category is attorney. And then this third guy, his main one is, let's see, Anderson, his main, that's weird. Why did you just do that? Okay. Let's go back to English. His main one is law firm. Let's go to this guy right here. So the top 5 is what I'm looking at. But so in their case, which is interesting, You just need this. So if it was me, and this is very common, I'm not picking on nobody, but I don't go through here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different categories. What I would do, if let's say it's law firm, let's click on law firm and let's see the associated, if you will, categories they're choosing with that. So just like I said earlier, if your main category for a law firm is law firm, then you need to use the GCID, what's on the page, like we already talked about. Your secondary category should be your service pages. These should be your service pages, like family law attorney. And your URL structure should be as such for family law attorney, personal injury lawyer, legal services, and lawyer. And these should be your categories that are on your GMB. And let's say you got law firm, divorce lawyer, and then lawyer. What you should have is so that's one thing we could do with that. You wind up editing this, but I'm gonna let you do this mainly because it has to do with a lawyer, and I don't.
So who wants to take over?
How you doing, B? I'm also here setting 2 o'clock in the morning, for fuck's sake. 3 o'clock in the morning. Fucking diehards.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah, it happens. I was like, this is fucking shit. But I would tend to, especially when you have an actual address, I tend to not have all these service areas. I only use a lot of service areas when I have a sob area business. Because if you're in Bedford View and you got Benin, South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, which I know Bedford View is in Johannesburg. So why would you have Edenville and Kempton and, you know, Gimminston and Alberton? And I mean, how far is Alberton away from, you know, your main location?
In kilometers 30, in miles probably about 5, 6 miles.
Yeah, it just
It's not
depends.
far.
So for me, if it was in Johannesburg or Bedford View, I would only have Johannesburg and Bedford View on here.
Okay, we can do that.
That's the main thing I would wind up doing, but that's just me.
Okay.
I'd wind up taking this off, this off, this off.
Yeah, do it, no
and
problem.
apply. And then, you know, that's one thing I would do. Then your hours, you got your phone number, you have no appointment link because you have no website. Your product's the same thing. Once you have an actual website, I would do things a little bit different. But for example, you do have 992 words in here, which is awesome. You need to add a button once you have a website.
Exactly.
I would change these to animated GIFs, which you already have. Awesome.
Can I use his? I obviously made him I made him a Google site. So can I link to the Google site for now? the free Google site until I get him a website
I mean,
made.
personally, if it was, you can, but to me, I would create a regular website. If there's any competition in the area, you're going to need an actual website.
No, it's coming, but
For
it's just in the meantime.
now, yeah, for now, what we'll do, we'll go back here and you just take your, business site right here, and you go into your, your products, and you're going to link it over to your product, learn more.
Yeah.
Save and learn more. Save. Learn more. Save. One of the reasons why I tell y'all to do offers as well is one of the most common post types that get the most clicks are offers. When you actually do an offer, in other words, let's say if you're a restaurant and say today's Taco Tuesday, come in, buy one, get one, or hey, today you're going to get, $50 off a website design or whatever. Your services, you got them all in here, which is good. Let's say, I don't know how many words you have in here, but you can actually give people an example. You can put in your services. You just want the services to reflect your GMB categories, and then they should reflect your pages. Your reviews, if you have reviews in here, these are really, they're okay type reviews, but as long as it's not a generic review is the main thing you wanted to go after. Like even me, I would put, I know this is you in here giving the review, but I would have said, just like you're saying here, thank you so much for the review, Bernie. I like using someone's first name mainly because of the sheer fact that people like hearing their name. It's just
I'm using conversion AI, exactly
Perfect.
You responded. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
perfect. And the same thing with there's so much you can do with conversion AI. I know I'm going to do a separate class on this, but if you go to Google, you can use for Google Ads, Google Ad description, your posts, your event posts, your Google My Business product description. You can even use it for SEO for your meta tags, your titles, your descriptions, and it will write, pretty good titles and description. Not saying you don't have to do it no more, but it does it really good for you. Besides, overall, these are pretty much optimized the way I would do them. The only thing I would also do as well, like I told you, is get more photos coming in here. Let's see if you got your messages turned on.
I do.
Okay, you need to have your messages turned on.
The only two things I don't do, the one is the link, which is something new for me. I'll work on that. And the second thing is you spoke about currency. I don't see that on any of my GMBs, and I've got
it's probably because of your location. Not all categories will have even the call history. That is a new thing that they're beta testing as well. One thing as well, let me go into here, go into insights. So if you come into here and hit calls and it doesn't give you that option, it's because it's not available in your area. If you haven't turned it on and it's just not there, it's not even available because they're beta testing. It's not even something they've completely came out for every country and every area. Just like sometimes you won't see the option to do products over here, and it's not always going to be there. But one of the things I tell people, like, for example, if you just do the posts the way I'm trying to tell people and the way they do the posts, you're going to see your customer actions go up, and then you'll see your photo views go up and everything. So, and that's one of the reasons why I tell people to do them that way. On Monday, because we're pretty much done here, I'm going to go answer some questions. But on Monday, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the website that we built. We built it in Gutenberg. And then I'm going to say, okay, here's how we're going to structure it. And here's how we're going to get our keyword research. And we're going to get into keyword research and all that. And then during the week, I'm going to write the content or have my boys write the content. And then once we get the content written, on Friday, we're going to implement the content, and we're going to optimize the GMB as well, same week. So next week, we got a heavy week coming ahead of us. Next week, we'll also have some homework, but it's all going to be around keyword research. One of the cool tools that I have around keyword research is not something that I invented or nothing. It's called Solvly. Solvly. It's Soovle. And I'll show it to you. One of the reasons why I like it, if you're an agency, it makes you look really cool because you could put your logo up here. How's that? So I could go to someone and you can do keyword research. Let's say we call it roof repairs. It will pull all the different things people are looking up for in different search engines. If it's an ask or, wherever, wherever you got it linked to, it's showing you to the different keywords people are looking for. And you could choose the search engines you want it to choose from and everything. But this is, you could use this for keyword research or whatever. Right now, mine is showing as if I'm in Africa or whatever. But the thing is, there's that. Then there's other things I use like Answer the Public. I use Quora. We're going to get into that next week. Let me go ahead and answer some questions before we get off here because we've already been in an hour and 30 minutes.
Hey, William, I've got a question.
Yep, go ahead, buddy.
So, should the GMB name for Thorpe, should he change it to the HVAC contractor?
Okay, I would not, once again, I wouldn't do anything drastic. In other words, a lot of people, when they want to change a business name and they say, well, I did it and it got banned, is generally because they his is Thorpe, heating and air conditioning. If I come in there and say, have that contractor Tucson, that's totally different. And in a spammy industry may get it banned. So if I just drop a keyword or drop Tucson in the end, it's not generally going to get banned. But if I'm going to, I can change it a little tweak here and a little tweak there sometimes. Let's see real quick. Another thing, you got echo going on, Patrick. All right, so let's go through here real quick. Let me answer these questions. Just give me a few seconds. Wow, it's lots of questions. Okay, muffled. We got through all the muffling. I'm not a Mac dude. I used to be a Mac dude, but let me tell you why I'm not a Mac dude. I'm not a Mac dude because I live in Pagadena, and if anything happens to my Mac, I have to travel 5 hours and pray for about 2 months just to get a Mac, because I was going to get the new MacBook Pro because I had I had the money, and it cost $3,000, almost $4,000 to get it over here, and it took them 3 months to get it in just so I could buy it. By that time, I already bought the new setup I have. For a local guide count, what's considered aged or old? I like to see not even just aged accounts, but actually used accounts where you're using the posts and write reviews and stuff like that. Only Mac I like is a Big Mac. I've been dieting for 5 days, Jeff. You can't be talking dirty like that. Nothing but protein and veggies for me right now. Local guide account, you can either buy them. I buy them or I make them. And I will show y'all later how to make them. It's a black hat method that we use to make them, which is basically doing a bunch of spammy photos on old, on accounts that aren't being watched. But I'll talk to y'all about that and show y'all. Let's see. I don't wait to flip categories. I know a lot of people do wait to flip categories. I don't. Please take me off of the Zenphotos attorney at law, by the way, BB, and the other one, so that way I don't have them in my account. I know some people wait, but I wouldn't do it necessarily on a brand new account. I would wait at least a couple of months. If you're going to wait maybe 2 months, if that. Most of the clients, you got to understand, they're coming are not going to be brand new GMBs. So why send the URL to havoc_contractor? The reason being is I want my website to reflect my GMB. if your main category in GMB is Havoc contractor, or the short URL is Havoc_contractor, that's what I want my website to have. You know, and the reason being, most people put just home, which makes no sense whatsoever. You know, what are you trying to drive people to, right? That's the big one. And
On that topic,
and on top of it, the reason why I say do it, anything I say do is something I've tried. What I will tell you is I've tried this method versus other methods. And the only thing I can tell you to do is test, test, test. Don't just believe me just because I say it. Actually try it out yourself and take action. Don't just sit in here. You're here at 3 a.m. or 9 p.m. and listen to me talk. Actually do something with what you're learning. Give me one second.
very quickly, is that the only Plepper the only tool that does it?
Plepper and GMB Crush. I use GMB Crush, and that's what I went over in the first class. And I'll be going over GMB Crush more, and we'll have the owners of GMB Crush on, and they'll talk about it, and they'll show you everything too. GMB Crush, I use that for auditing, and I'm going to be doing some free audits too, so we'll be going that. But next question is it not okay to send the appointment link to Calendly? It should be to the contact page on the website. I try to keep it onto the contact page of the website. If you're going to use Calendly, put the Calendly link on the contact page. That's just me. So that was the answers. You as well, Roman. Patrick, yeah, and why I'm wanting to follow the structure of the website. I want people to take action on my website. It's not I'm trying to send them to Calendly. Me sending them to Calendly is not doing nothing. What is the right size? 250 by 250. What I do with the GIF, when I download the GIF or I create the GIF, when I go to upload it and it tells me no, I then right click on that image name and I hit rename, and I simply rename the backend from GIF to JPG. Right? Now, if you try to do it the other way and you try to take a JPEG and make it into a JPEG, it's not going to work. You have to do it the exact way I'm showing you. All right. It works well on Canva. You can use Canva to create GIFs. You can make the GIF in Canva. You can make it in Adobe. There are GIF makers online. I'll show you a couple of free ones, that we use here. Is Giphy.com. It's spelled GIPHY.com. Giphy.com. It's not something, you just choose the file, choose the next file, or if you will, how you want to make the Giphy, the backdrop, and it creates the GIF for you. It's, that one in Canva. Canva I like using because you can use that to create all your posts and everything else. You can also use Adobe. Adobe I pay about $25 a month for. And then what happens, you got to think is anytime you want to, it's the same reason why you put big red or green call to action buttons on your websites, because it grabs someone's attention and just instead of just looking like a little picture there. Try to avoid changing the NAP, the name, address, phone number, correct. Name, address, phone number you don't want to do, because obviously you can wind up by changing the address or phone number, you can wind up needing specifically a re-verification and go into re-verification. That will screw up. And then on top of it, if you're going to do it, before you do it, you need to send out and correct all your citations, update all your citations. And we'll be going over that, because when you create your citations, you should, especially if you're using a VA or Fiverr or Legit or anybody to do them, you should have, can you hear me? I think I lost you.
Yeah.
Okay. But you should always have them do it, and especially on Fiverr, they'll give you the list of all the citations with the username or the email and the password. You always want that, because if you have to change it in the future, you're going to want that. Then if I'm going to change my, GMB, before even editing an address or phone number on my GMB, I do it on my citations. I give it about 2 weeks before I even attempt to do it on my GMB. The GMB is simply confirming what's already out there in the internet world, what's on the Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, what's in your top data aggregators, everything else. If you do it without having done that first, you are going to go into re-verification, and then you're going to sit there forever until they can verify that data. Unless you can get someone, which I actually have 2 people that can help, and they'll be going later on in regards to working with Google and for Google. They're one of the product experts or whatever. I would never use Yext. I use Yext. I'd never use Yext. You should read their contract. Their contract says specifically when you leave them, your citations go bye-bye. Duplicate content. What is duplicate content? So duplicate content is me creating, if you will, the same content on my actual website, and it looks the same. And then you get into what we call cannibalization, where one page will be trying to outrank another. Duplicate content is not where I take my content from my site or a blog or an article and post it elsewhere. If that was a case, news and press releases and blogs would not even work or rank. So that's that correction, and I'll go over that as well. Patrick, Bill, how many words do you recommend for the home page of a website? Minimum 1,500, minimum. And it's very easy to get to 1,500, especially if you're using Jarvis. Jarvis, I'll give you all that. If you want my Jarvis link, let me pull it for you because y'all are asking for it. Oh, let me get it for y'all. Once I get it, I will drop it in there. I'll drop it in here before we leave. But do you also use Conversion AI to respond to positive reviews? Yep. Positive, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. And I use it for, SEO. I use it for product descriptions. Do I add or change the photo metadata? The only thing I change on my photo data when I'm uploading it to Google is what is the name of the image? What is the name of the image? Because if you think you're going to put latitude and longitude into the actual back end of the image and it's not going to get rid of it, I would love to see you prove to me that it does not, because every test I've ever seen anybody do, and I'm talking about top people, the data is stripped. Even Local Viking says, yes, you can upload your geo data from our platform. Yes, you can. But then once Google gets it, they strip it. Now, that being said, you can take images, put geodata, latitude, longitude, all the keywords in it, etc. And whenever you put that, if you will, on a website, or let's say a blog post, or let's say the images of your website or cloud stack, that data is good. Okay, so that data will wind up staying, where it should be, and it's good for on-page SEO. That part, yes. I would want 10 photos a month, and what I would tell people is what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send them to my clients. I request them. If they don't provide them to me, there's nothing I can do. Plepper is free, so is GMB Crush.
William, what about the geo optimizer site that puts it in the file exif? Does that also get stripped?
Garbage.
Okay.
I only use that for the like the websites we're working on. We put that data on the websites, like not on GMB, but on websites. Yes. on other websites like Amazon, AWS, your cloud stacks that you're going to do, anything like that, yes. But if you're going to upload it onto a GMB post, it's just going to get stripped. So unfortunately, you know, if you're doing that, you're wasting your time, really. But you know, it is what it is. It's at one point it used to work, and that's why people are heavy into doing it, and they're like, well, you should do it, and you know, and all that type of stuff. And there's still some SEOs that swear by it, but it's like every good SEO I know, which is a handful of them that actually test stuff, not just tell you it works, will tell you it does not work, and that it used to work. There's the link for Conversion AI. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going through all these. All right, pronounce to how to compare prices for Havex. You know, you can do that with SpyFu. I love SpyFu. It's another tool I use to research. I create gifts. I don't buy them anywhere. I have 34 VAs. You got to understand, I'm not like most people. I have a whole team of VAs just for GMB. Does it help having the NAP and keyword on the photo used for the GMB post? Yes. If you put your logo in it, if you put your name, address, phone number in it, it works the best when you're doing them to have that. If you look at any of the posts that we do, we generally do that. Not all the time. Sometimes you can't get away with it. Let me give you some examples of ones. Let me get out of this one real quick. I'll keep answering these questions, but I'll show you some more. Why do I add a link to the previous post? That's what we like to call backlinks. A lot of people be like, well, how do you backlink to a GMB? And I'll show you that as well, because you can do your post besides just doing what we were talking about. For example, I'll show you this one. So the share post link, if I was to click share post, right? This share post is a backlink. I can literally send backlinks to this share post link. And we do that for all of our clients. And then when I say read our latest post here, it's telling you, hey, read this post. And you'll see we use the logo, we use the way if it's an, you know, this is a Saab area business, but we'll put in their logo, their website. Sometimes we'll also do the name, address, phone number, but just depends. But the share post, this is an actual backlink, and you're what we call stacking your post. This is a GMB post stack. All right. Same thing when I'm doing a press release. You want to do what we call a stack. A press release stack is where I say, read our previous press release, and I stack it. Right. Let me keep moving. 720 by 540 for GMB post size, correct?
Sorry, William, on the link, what links do you send into those posts? Vipers?
No, backlinks. You know, backlink can be a Web 20 link. It can be
Web 20s, okay.
It can be a Money Robot link. It could be a high DA link. It could be pretty much anything. I'm not too scared of sending spammy links like Money Robot or, okay, it's this type of link and I don't want to use it. It's not a high authority link. I'm mainly concerned about sending high authority links directly to my money site. I'm not cautious when it comes to sending spammy links to a GMB post, your G stack, your cloud stacks, all that, because I'm using them as filters, if you will. Good night, William. Good night, Brent. Yeah, divorce.
So
what let me get through these, because otherwise I'm never going to get through these if I don't. I'll talk to you. Can you refresh how to use city streets names again? That will be in another one, Levi or Levy, where I go over location page stacks. I will not be doing those tonight, obviously. Business directories worth building out for lead generation. Yes. I actually did an interview. His name is Aaron. He's on my YouTube channel. And we do that Pagadian, and when we have some VAs there. Yep, I live in Pagadian. That's where all my VAs are at, and we all work together. That's the biggest difference. Good for you. Health is everything. You registered divorce lawyer Johannesburg. That is what I would use if it was me, Kevin.
Okay.
For rank and rent properties, I'll make videos in Canva. You can make videos in Canva. I would not do videos in Canva. I would actually use Vidnami. I will not use Canva to do stuff like that when I can use Vidnami to make, I'm talking about videos that are minutes, not just 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'm talking about 10, 20 minutes long videos. And I use it very specifically for CTR manipulation and taking my blogs and making those into long videos with all my keywords and areas inside of it. Let me finish. I have questions regarding quantum signals. Delaney, he will be on again this upcoming week on Tuesday. So you can ask Lane at that time, or you can email me. What would be the limit of links I include in a post too? That's it. My previous post and my website post. That's it. And then my learn more link. I mean, if you want to include that, 3. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Lots of info. Appreciate that, you guys. My internet, Dominic, is 10 times better because I pay 20,000 pesos a month for it, which is the equivalent of $500 a month for it, because I have a tower that's, imagine my house is 3 stories high and I have another 40-foot tower on top of it to be shot over the mountains. And I'm about ready to spend $2,000 on big satellite dishes. So I have a constant speed of 600 Mbps the entire time, even in a brownout. So unless you're willing to put the money in, they're never going to have internet as fast as me. And I had to invest. I put probably $4,000 into what I got now. So, yeah, you ain't paying 20K. Yeah, exactly. So, typical internet speed over here is about 90 megabytes. Mine's at 300 megabytes or Mbps. If, on a good day. So I'll put it that way. And sometimes, it's at 90 and it's unstable over here at best, even when you have good internet. And I'm going over that when we hire a VA on my VA course. One of the things to look for, what's their internet speed? What's their, what's their specs on their PC and laptop? These are all things you need to find out before you hire anybody. Yeah, 50 megabytes is about normal, but it's been good. If you have any questions, email me, drop them in my email address. It's been good as always. I hope y'all have a good weekend. And I will talk to you guys soon. And next week, we're going to be going over content, keyword research. And once again, we'll have our other guys on, and y'all be blessed and have a good one.
Send that thumbnail of the post that you said you would.
Which thumbnail of what post?
No, you said what it's going to look with a nap on the picture. You're busy looking at it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll post it in the back.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it.